Quarterly one-on-ones. This is something that I've been doing since we had employees. It's checking with your employees. It's making sure they're doing what they want to. Ultimately, are they happy? I did see a video recently that was like why one-on-ones aren't effective. And I can understand as your company starts to grow, that can be pretty ineffective, and how they kind of suggest having an extra person in the room with you to help facilitate the meetings, because they can ultimately turn into a therapy session. But in my opinion, especially in this world, creatively, we're always changing and adapting to what we love to do in filmmaking. And I think it's important as a business owner, at least in the early days, like 20 employees or less, to have those, or at least with your leadership. So maybe you have 10 employees and 5 of them are, in leadership positions, and making sure that you're just checking in with each of them. And what I do is I give them the floor. It is their time to talk to me about anything. And I really actually love that. It's connecting with them. It's learning more about them. It's learning about what makes them tick, changes that they're going through. And I think it's important. I think it's really cool to do and foster that relationship with each person, and ultimately figure out if they're on the right path. And if they're not, how do we get them on the right path? Per usual, cruise through the PDF, read each paragraph. We're going to cruise through it. So I've kind of talked about these: employee development, morale boost, strengthening relationships, transparency and open dialogue, personalized support. They can turn into therapy sessions depending on who you're talking to. Sometimes they just want to ask help. And a lot of the stuff that we teach in this classroom are about those things. And we have a lifestyle classroom that teaches all about, how to have a good life while you're also being a filmmaker and staying creative. A lot of the principles I talk about in a one-on-one will be in that classroom if you want to check that out. And if you do one-on-ones, how to conduct them effectively. Create a safe, open environment. I've got my office, we shut the door, and I just say, it's your time, talk to me. And typically they're like 30 minutes long is what they have. And if it goes over, we just adjust the meetings as we go. Be consistent and regular. I think quarterly makes sense because that's 4 times a year. That's fair. And obviously you're checking in with them throughout the year in other ways, but this is like their time. Review progress. So definitely talk about, like, are they improving their skills? Are there things that they wish they could do differently? Or are there ways you can help them and kind of help navigate their careers? Let's discuss challenges, things that might be roadblocks, things that they might be dealing with personally that maybe I'd not be able to help with, but it might help me understand what they're going through if things are lacking in certain areas. Definitely provide constructive feedback. Make sure that you're encouraging, you are helping them. Yeah, it's their time, right? So ask about career development, talk about where they want to be next year, where they want to be in next quarter, like what do they want to be focusing on the most? And like I said at the beginning, this is their time, so make sure you're listening. Follow up and hold accountable. So at the end of the meetings, make sure we discuss kind of the key points that you talked about with them, and then say, hey, next quarter, let's talk about those things. And I'm going to hold you accountable to these things, and we're going to see how they improve or don't improve. So I'm a fan of one-on-ones. I think you should do them too, especially in the early days of your business.